most pleased you about tonight? I imagine there'd be a few things.
Yeah, a lot was pleasing tonight, but what really hit was when you step out the door in the environment. Playing here and having 16,000 people here, it was like an NBA game to me, as far as the spectacle when you came in, and the support for the team. We didn't move to this elk last year, and I just feel like there's an energy in the stadium about the guys. And then the other thing is you're watching, and it gets you add Torrey to us. You add their piece, and you're looking around Bryce, and you go position, and you go, this is really good basketball. And you're looking at the top teams in this right now, and the standard of the game, we keep talking about it. I don't, and again, I've been in it and watched it since 1979, the start of it. I don't remember it better than this. And the depth of the teams. So it was a high standard game of basketball. And it's the pluses for us was, we're starting to get some bodies back. And Torrey, for them, getting the right piece in the setup, and it wasn't me, the front office, the work that they did to do this, and then his name coming up and checking and knowing the background, hey, this is quality. And now he hasn't totally got his legs yet. I feel like it's only going to get better, and we don't win that without him tonight. And he's a major piece now for us moving forward. That was really nice to see.
You mentioned the crowd, fifth largest crowd in NBL history tonight, 16-8, plus the Pink Hoops event. Can you talk to that? And you've obviously mentioned what the atmosphere was like, but just the entire event around it and just how great it's been for the Kings to do this, culminating in a night like this.
Yeah, I just think you get emotional about the whole cancer situation and what this event means.
Yeah.
And again, I just think the NBL, the Kings have been tremendous with innovation and now events. We just came from the Hoops deal in Perth, which was huge when you look at Perth on TV and you're watching the game and the commentating. I get calls from overseas. What a magical city, what a magical place, what a great game of basketball. Tonight, the event and what it stands for and what she meant to the Kings and to basketball, and then the fight we all have, and I know everyone has been touched in some form with that horrible disease, cancer. So that doesn't go unmentioned. Really, really important and a great event. And then again, you travel around and you're going to these places, and there, you go to Melbourne, it's packed. There's an energy in the gym. You go to Adelaide, you can't hear in there. And now you come here, this is a whole nother level. I'm sorry, there's 16,000 people, not 5 or not 10. There's 16,000 people, and they're instrumental in us and in the advantage of trying, and we're working our ass off to try to get in the best possible position so we can play at home. And it's the guys can feel it, and they know the importance because they're playing in it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been in it a long time, and I haven't been in a gym with more energy than there was tonight for us.
Yeah. I know we talked about him last game, Kendrick Davis. He put up 20, 14 assists, 4 steals. 14 assists, most ever by a Kings player in the 40-minute era, third most all time. No one's put up a stat line like that since Damien Keogh in 1990 for the club, believe it or not. I just wanted to ask you, do you sometimes just catch yourself watching him, what he's doing in his command of the game right now? Do you think he's played any better than what he did tonight?
I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine it. And I just think, I know from myself when I'm on the sideline, there wasn't one play call. I didn't have one. It was kind of, when you're with the national program, you sometimes you say, hey, if you start running plays, you're killing this. It's about spacing. It's about ball movement. It's about reads.
Yep.
Don't get in their way. And tonight, it was stay out of his way. You know, the guy's and he's playing with really good players. We have a system, and it was not play orientated. And again, at the timeouts, there was no whiteboard on the sideline. He'd come to me about matchups or switching situations, but he ran the show. And again, I know he had limited minutes tonight, but I feel really good about Bruce right now. I feel really good about Tyler, about Watch. There's depths there, and we still have Delhi to bring into this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, going back to Kendrick, it's hard to keep. I mean, he's in that Bryce Elk. He's in that. As long as he plays here, he's starting to. Bryce became a better basketball player in Australia, and Kendrick he's a young man, and he's going to do nothing but get better, and he had locked in what he wanted to address when he came here, and one of it was what you're talking about tonight, running a team, not just being a small scorer, and he didn't want that as his mark. And the ball in his hand right now, he's running the team.
Talked about Bryce, you held him scoreless to half time, and I think the only other time that happened, he got injured before he scored against New Zealand. The job that you talked about Watch before, you started him again, the job that he did on Bryce, and obviously the length that Tory and then Jalen were bringing to bear on him.
It was very much on the defensive side of the floor, like when we had Bull.
Yeah.
That now you've got Watch and you've got Galloway. Tory is like Bull as far as physicality and length, and it's just another piece to help us with. I mean, I think he still ended up with close to 20. He's an incredible basketball player, but I love Tory on the defensive end of the floor. And the other one, it's been a struggle, and I've talked to him a lot over the course of time that what Galloway is dealing with is discomfort and difficult, really, really difficult to go from where he is to where he wants to go. And he's starting to stack some good stuff. And I thought tonight, defensively, running the floor, moving without the ball in his hand, he doesn't have to be serviced. Back cuts, offensive rebounds, running the floor, steals. 16 points. I think he had 8 rebounds. And practice. He's starting to come, and that's very important to me. I just feel an obligation there that he comes out of this thing wherever it happens, and he's got tremendous potential. And the process of now to then is difficult one with a lot of disappointment, and it's been a roller coaster ride, but really happy. And he's really important to go all of these things. If you're going to go where you want to go or need to go, got to click, or you can see the competition, you're not going to get there.
Delhi back with the team this afternoon must have been pleasing for you to have him there and part of the group again after dealing with that concussion.
Huge. And the culture, the chemistry, this togetherness piece has been, he's led it and kind of made guys comfortable going into that box. And now you move them away from it. He's established it, and they're growing there. And now bringing him back come crunch time. And I think we'll have a fresh Delhi, and the timing of it's kind of rewarding. He's not 20 years old. He gets a little time to get his legs underneath, work at his skills, get a second wind, and come down the backstretch. We're pretty fortunate there.
You have Delhi coming back at some point. It seems like Kendrick has excelled with a lot of spacing around him. Have you thought about where you can put Delhi in the mix there to make sure that you still can get the best out of KD?
Well, I mean, everybody was saying the same thing about X. X is away. You got so much better. Much fun. What are you going to do with X? What I did tonight. And Delhi, I think we can come up the floor more. Now we're going to have depth in that position coming up the floor. I think you're going through series and things like that. If you play Kendrick like we're playing him now, like Bryce is being played, to get to the, you're going to get fried. You're going to get worn. So 20 minutes between, together, resting one, going small, bringing these other shooters around, but I was excited about those two together at the start, and I'm really it was like X. I heard this, I couldn't wait to get him back, and I can't wait to get Delly back, and it's on me to work that out, but I like the pieces.
You were in a situation tonight where their role players were hitting shots, getting the ball out of Bryce's hands, but they were still hitting some shots. What gave you trust to continue with the coverage on Bryce and make sure that everyone else were the ones shooting the ball?
The coverage part, what was hard, it was with Humphreys and their other bigs rolling, and we tag and get back. So the Bryce wasn't the situation. It was those bigs rolling out of there and how we dealt with that and what we came up with towards the end, even though he scored, but switching. So the ability to switch, and then we have an advantage at the other end when they go with four smalls like that. We continued to score the ball, but I didn't think the way we defended Bryce opened up the shooters. I thought it was the roller and how we play that, and it was kind of unique and new to us tonight. We're going to have to grow in that and do that better. But the addition that they've got now, when you've got Cameron, DJ. The new guy, I'm horrible with names, but he's a pro, and Bryce. That's about as much firepower from the perimeter as you can get. But I thought we did pretty well there, and we'll get better.
Obviously, Illawarra's next on Thursday night. I guess they've had a tough season, but they've now got 6 spot in play. How do you sort of take them on? What's the focus there?
They're a real. I think they're a real challenge, and I think talent-wise, when you look at it, they're as talented as any team in the competition. So, like tonight, they can go big, they can go small, they can rotate bodies. So all of this leading into the playoffs, we know we're going to get to the playoffs. These are really important games because we're trying to stack and get as high on that. So this one's important, and we're on the road after this. So it's a real test for us, real important game for them, real important game for us. And again, I hope it's a positive situation for us and we grow through it.
Do you expect Delly back or closer?
As I said with X, I felt comfortable about X tonight. I think we got a real good chance. He hasn't been in contact with us yet, and we're hoping that happens. We have a few days now where you can take a deep breath tomorrow, get a few practice sessions in, and how he goes in those will determine the next game. But as I said, it's close.
Pikey?
I'm all good, thanks, Gorge. Well done.
Thank you.